And I'd like you to know that I'm coming home to roost. I'd like to be
in the studio. I've got to say a big welcome, and we have in session, we have Long Day Living.
Standing on the corner in the rain, you're soaking wet, and it might get brighter, but it's not done raining yet. I don't know what you're thinking, this could be your life of choice, but it shouldn't take a slap in the face, man. Just get up and use your voice, and don't stay any longer than you have to. Just get out while the going's good. Don't hang around any longer than you have to. Come on, get on with what's important and tell yourself. Show me a free world and I'll show you a dream. Come with me to the real world and I'll show you what I mean. Don't think it over for too long before you quit this joint, because life's no sooner here than gone, and you might just miss the point. And don't stay any longer than you have to. Just get out while the going's good. Don't hang around any longer than you have to. Come on, get on with what's important and tell yourself. Sorry for you, because you're stuck in a rut. I know there's nothing more that I could do for you, but just get on your back, stay on your back. Oh, don't stay any longer than you have to. Just get out while the going's good. What's important, tell yourself the truth. You tell yourself the truth.
First song live tonight on Wednesday night sessions there from Long Day Living. Listen, Stephen and Kenny, welcome back to the Urban Beat FM studios.
Oh, thanks for having us back. It's not just to apologise, though.
No, of course. I mean, it is.
That makes a change.
It must be around about, it's got to be around about 2.5 years since you were here.
About that.
And so much has changed, because we were talking at that time, you were down to a two-piece because you had lost your drummer for various reasons.
Yeah. A new job took him away up to the big windy city.
Got to earn money. You've got to earn money.
It's terrible.
But fast forward a couple of years, you've got the album out now. I mean, you must be very, very proud of Then We Start a Fire.
Very much so.
Yeah, hugely.
I mean, it's taken us about, over a year and a half going back and forth into the studio. It hasn't been a year and a half solid working on it, but it took us a year and a half from getting it started to getting the actual album out there. So we wanted to take our time over it to make sure it was something that we would be really proud of, which we are.
Yeah, hugely so.
And of course, you had that amazing night of music on the album launch at Prestwick Cricket Club.
It was a great wee night. We packed the place out.
It certainly was.
You know, we had over 100 people in there. That makes a nice little place like that feel nice and full.
Yeah.
We had some great acts on supporting us, and it went an absolute storm. We've had some great feedback on the album since as well. So,
I mean, gig-wise, I look at your Facebook page and I see you've been doing lots of gigs, as in acoustically.
There's been more acoustic gigs than full band gigs going. It's been an issue because other members, like our drummer plays in a few different bands. He's got a ceilidh band, a wedding band. And
do you know that is a common thing these days, Kenny?
It's the life of a musician, isn't it?
That's it, yes.
So scheduling full band gigs, when we can, we try and make them as hitting as we can. We try to bring everything that we can and give the best performance that we can, because we just don't get to do it that often. But Stevie and I, we're the two that are a bit more kind of free and easy, so we can go out with our little guitars here and plug in and play anywhere. And
I mean, that's it. You're sitting there with your guitar, and Stephen's got that beautiful bass that he's got there. Is that the one you made yourself?
Yeah, it's the Bailey one.
That must, I mean, what's it like to actually manufacture your own bass guitar?
Oh, cracking experience. I would recommend it to anyone, basically, if you fancy.
I wouldn't ever dare say it's like giving birth, but
well, no,
I just have.
Do you know, it's not half off it. I mean, I've been there and done that as well. I built a little parlour acoustic up at Baileyville for my 30th birthday many moons ago, and it's something you're just immensely proud of for the rest of your life.
We were gigging at the Winterstorm Festival down at Troon on the weekend, and I was talking to a couple of guys that were playing on the main stage, and they were looking around the Bailey guitar stand, and one of them commented on my bass and went, "Oh, is that for sale?" I said, "No, actually it's mine."
You can't have that. You can't have that.
You ain't
getting
it,
that one.
Don't care what band you're in, you're not getting it.
No.
So you were saying there, after the gig, the launch, you were saying you get a lot of nice feedback on the album.
Oh, very much so. People have been very kind. We've been getting tweets and posts and messages on Facebook and such as well. And people just coming up to us and saying, "Look, I really enjoyed this track or that track," and just, it just seems to be going really well. So we're happy with that.
I think the thing I like is the fact that different people seem to be... There's not one track seems to be coming out as a favourite. Different people seem to be taking different tracks as their favourites.
Yeah,
so it seems to have a wide appeal.
I was saying to Kenny earlier that every time I put the album on, I find a different track that I want to play on the radio.
Yeah, are there any that you haven't? You've been giving us a lot of radio play. We've got to thank you, Ronnie.
Indeed, thank you very much.
Good music has got to be heard.
I mean, you came to the launch and you've been playing us lots over the last couple of months. It's been great.
Listen, we're going to talk a bit. I know you're going to do some more tracks for us, and I'm really delighted because you're going to be playing one of my favourite tracks on the album. We'll get around to that. We have Long Day Living live in the studio, and Kenny and Stephen. Kenny is singer and guitarist, and Stephen is bass player and backing vocals. And you were telling me there you've got a keyboard player now and a drummer who... Obviously, there's a story there.
Yeah, we've got the whole package now because, well, like you said, last time we were on the show, we were drummerless. Our drummer Cameron had just left the band to pursue a new career up in Glasgow, and he just couldn't commit to the band anymore. And after it didn't take us long, maybe a month and a half of asking around. We've known Ken for a while. Ken, fantastic drummer. And as soon as we suggested it to him, his eyes lit up and he jumped in the opportunity to join the band. And so we were able to move quite quickly from that point into recording the album and doing all that and gigging out with him. And then it was in the summer we were doing an acoustic gig at the Treehouse in Ayr, and Ken suggested we do some keyboards instead of
percussion.
Percussion. If he could play some.
How did that work?
It worked really well. Ken's a really good keyboard player and pianist as well.
And again, it just took songs in a completely different direction because the keys just gave you a completely different dynamic.
Yeah, and while we were rehearsing for that, Ken said to us, "Look, I'm enjoying playing this keyboards. Let's see if Cameron wants to come back and play the drums, And then we did a gig just a couple of months there at the Market Inn, again in Ayr, and Ken was double booked playing at a wedding with his ceilidh band. So we gave Cameron a chance to see if he could join in. And he was free, so he was like, "Yeah, we'll come in." So we jumped up to Glasgow for a wee refresher rehearsal with him, and about halfway through he just looked at us and went, "Damn, I miss this." How about Ken plays keyboards and I play the drums? And we just looked at each other and went,
"Well, funny you should say that."
So So we floated the idea to Ken, and we had this gig at the Wick just at the weekend there in Prestwick, and we saw that as an opportunity to try and pull it together and give it a go. And so it went over quite well.
We'll definitely be going in that direction, that's for sure.
Yeah. Now, the good thing that I liked about your gig, the album launch, you weren't just playing tracks from the album, you were playing new stuff, which shows that you're moving on to get the next one, to get songs for the next one.
Definitely. Well, you see, I've got one of these brains that doesn't stop. It just keeps going. I'm constantly taking out my phone and scribbling little notes down on it and so on, and making voice recordings of tunes and things. So that all goes into a melting pot and just swirls around, and then the songs start to build. And I mean, we've spent so long working on just basically the songs on the album and a couple other tracks that we would play live but didn't get on the album, that I really wanted to start pushing towards new material and get some new material for the album launch. So we debuted 2 completely new songs.
We did,
and another one full band that we'd only played acoustically.
That's true.
Yeah, that was great. So you're going to do a track that I know I'm going to love, because you are going to do the lead track to the album.
Well, I figured I'd give it a go before my voice gives out. I'm a bit croaky here tonight, so yeah, we'll give it a wee go.
I'll give it a nudge.
Yeah, we've been having fun playing it acoustically lately. We didn't think it would maybe work acoustically, but because it's a big track on the album.
Epic.
But we'll give it a go and see how it sounds.
All yours.
So this is Then We Start a Fire.
Running around, I've been stuck in the past, giving more than a third, but less than half. Is it honesty I'm feeling, or just a passing thought? Doing the best that I can with what I've got. It's all I've got now. It's been on my mind, it's still bugging me yet. I need a new line, what you see is not all you can get. Is it only on the inside? Can you see it in my eye? Could you help me make some matches? And then we'll start a fire. By default, not by design. If seeing is truly believing, then maybe I'm blind. If we keep running sideways, we'll never get that far. One moment of honesty offers a spark, and then we'll start a fire. Let it burn. Then walking alone. But one day, sooner or later, we'll all return to the sun. And then we'll start a fire. Let it burn. Then we'll start a fire. Watch it burn. Watch it burn. Watch it burn.
The title track of the album by Long Day Living, and my throat's going as well, Kenny. Then We Start a Fire. There we go. That's the album there. If you're watching the video on YouTube next week, you'll see me holding up a copy of the album there to the camera. Listen, great to hear the acoustic. As you say, it's an epic track, but it does translate well acoustically.
It turns out it does.
Yeah. we were never sure that was actually ever going to work acoustically, but it does. So it does. It's another good one.
You're going to do a song which is relatively new.
Well, it's not on the album. We've been playing around with it for
playing around with the arrangement of it for a while to try and get it to something we're happy with.
Yeah, and this is how we do it acoustically, but it might change now that we've got a keyboardist.
Oh yes,
if we get round to recording it.
Do you think, like, when you know you've now got a keyboard player and you are writing new songs, will you actually look at how to fit when you're writing a song? You'll be now looking at a kind of grander noise, a grander sound.
Absolutely, that's the way my brain works. My brain's already assimilated that and gone, right, you've got the world to play with now, because what can't you do with a keyboard in some ways, you know? So yeah, like we talked, I think, earlier on air or otherwise, about one of the new songs that we did at the album launch, and it went quite well. It's a song called Brave, but it sat to the side again for a while because it lacked that something, and as soon as we started talking about the keyboards, my brain went, that's where it's going to come from. That's what
the song's needing.
That's where that part's going to come from. And as soon as Ken added it in, it just brought the song to life. So I'll be moving forward with that in mind when it comes to writing new material.
So what's the name of the song you've got now?
This song's called Storm Watching, and it's a little bit different, little something acoustic.
At your leisure.
Dissipate the haze and I'll alleviate the pain. Burning in the sunshine, heat's driving us insane. Look to the horizon, there's something rolling in. It's got one hell of a sting in its tail, and it's only just beginning while we're storm watching as the clouds roll by. Thunder's rumbling and there's lights in the sky, and there's a change in pressure between you and I. Just storm watching, storm watching. The outside world is lost behind a curtain pouring down. It always makes you smile to listen to it dancing on the ground. The sky becomes our theatre, performing just for you and me. And as we watch the show, all tension flows away upon the breeze, and we're just storm watching as the clouds roll by. Thunder's rumbling and there's lights in the sky, and there's a change in pressure between you and I. Just storm watching, storm watching. sing another song. Hold your breath and listen as the wind it hums along. The shining moon's our mirror ball as the storm begins to break, and we'll just slow down till morning comes and forget about the aching while we're storm watching as the clouds roll by. Thunder's rumbling and there's lights in the sky, and there's a change in pressure between you and I, just storm watching together tonight.
Watching live on 107.2 Urban Beat FM, if my voice holds up for the rest of the show. Guys, I mean, that song, it's a really kind of mellow song at the moment. Is it going to remain a mellow song?
Well, I do have this notion of after the second chorus, hearing the storm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're singing about the storm. You know, giving it that build, getting the storm in there, and then having it dissipate away at the end of the song.
But you know, good song for a mid-set.
Yeah,
just to kind of bring
like
it down, to bring it down a little bit.
At the moment, I'm kind of looking to building our set to having sort of no dips. I think you know, like I say, we've got Brave and we've got another tune or two that are new songs coming along, and by the time we throw them into the set, you know, we're going to have a good hour-long set without taking too many little acoustic dips. Things like that are things that I like playing around with for studio and for acoustic gigs, and it just broadens the material, the catalogue. Likes of on the album, there's the track Nothing to Shout About. We don't play that live very often, you know. It was just a little song that needed a home and found its place on the album, so maybe this will be one of them. I don't know.
We'll get one more. Looking at the time, we'll get one more song from you to take us up to the top of the hour from his rather excellent album, Honour Amongst Thieves. That's Tragicahara and End of the World. He is our session guest next week. He's going to be, and he said, Ronnie, I'm going to be in my Todd, mind you. What more could I ask? He wouldn't get the full band, but we're just talking there. I was just talking to the guys there about that night in the band and who he had, and you were all kind of, it was like an intake of breath when you heard the band.
That's a lineup.
It certainly was.
I love Tragic. He does some great stuff. He's just out there and experimental.
Yes. Now, what has 2017? What's it going to have in store for Long Day Living?
Gigs, hopefully some more recording, possibly on a smaller scale. We went for 8 songs on an album this time. I think we'll be doing...
Going EP.
I think we'll be going...
An EP?
A smaller EP or a little single or something. We'll see what we can pull together. But it's pulling together the new lineup with the keyboards and getting some gigs and getting that sound out there. And
look at maybe some festivals.
We're trying to get on the festival circuit for next summer, so...
Your sound would go well. Your sound would do well.
Hopefully some more sales on the album. Can I just tell the listeners
yes,
that
of course
it is available to download from all the usual places. You can get it on Google and iTunes and Amazon, etc. And if you're into hard copies, you can get it at the moment from Big Sparrow Vinyl in Ayr, but you can drop us a line on the Facebook page and we'll happily post a copy out if you're into it.
We all love Big Sparrow Vinyl.
We love Big Sparrow Vinyl. It's a magic place. So we're on facebook.com/longdayliving. Find us there if you want to know more.
Well, you're going to do one final song for us.
We shall.
We'll do one final song. It's one of my favourite songs off of the album. It's an older song, and again, it's one of my favourites for the production. And it doesn't get a lot of radio play because it's got a bad word in it. But
I've played it.
You've played it.
I didn't notice.
There's no rules here.
We'll take it away.
Thank you.
This time it's really happened. This time I swear to God. This time I'm rolling over, rolling all the way. If I that's what you want, and something tells me we've got it back to front. And I'd like you to know that I'm coming home to roost. I'd like to be with you and see you. I know I'm vacant lover, I know I fucked it up, I know we've said it's over, but with a little bit of luck we'll stay together, and this time make it work. Gather up the fragments and let's take each other back. Because the door swings both ways, come on and pick up the extra slack. And I'd like you to know that I'm coming home to roost. I'd like to be with you and see you. Twice in a blue moon.
As Kenny points to his throat there saying, it's gone.
It's gone.
Listen, guys, that was great. Love that track on the album as well. Long Day Living, the album Then We Start a Fire, available from all good download retailers, purveyors of digital music.
Ah, yes.
Go and get the album. If you want the hard copy,
you can stream it as well if you want to listen to it
on Spotify or
Spotify and Deezer.
Yeah.
But if you download it, then we might be able to afford to make another one.
You did mention there the festival circuit. You did Winter Storm. Was that like a fest? Did that feel like a festival?
Kind of. It was all in the town hall in Troon, and we didn't get into the main hall. You did because you had tickets for it. So. But we were playing in the Walker Hall on the side.
Oh
of it,
yeah, we are.
And in the upstairs bar as well, with a view out over the sea, which was lovely. So it was a slightly different atmosphere, but the bands were all mingling, the artists were all mingling, kind of about the backstage, the back door area where artists go to smoke and such. Yeah. You know how it is. So it was a good fun.
Good fun.
Well, Kenny and Stephen, Long Day Living, 2/3, or now I can say half.
One half.
Half of Long Day Living. Guys, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Sell more copies of the album, and as you say, that will help you record album number 2. And it's great to have you back in the studio.
Hey, thanks for having us, buddy.
Anytime.
Anyway, thank you very much to Long Day Living. Lots more still to come in the next hour of the show.